All right, so we have the FOMC meeting in about 4 hours from when I'm recording. And so I figured I would jump on ahead of time, take a look at Market Cipher, see what things are looking like, maybe try and get a gauge on what might happen when the volatility starts, because a lot of times the technicals will show things before the actual news drops. And so looking at the charts, we may be able to get some hints as to which way things are going to go. And I have to say, even though, we're still seeing very conflicting signs across all the time frames, especially the higher time frames are looking a little bit more bearish. That daily is getting close to printing a red dot there. If that prints today and then confirms, we'll have a confirmed divergence. Another one, money flow is still in the red. Daily money flow is not looking too great. And the 12-hour momentum and money flow have come down a lot. Right now, you could say this money flow is in an uptrend. It was, coming up very sharply here, but then it kind of started stalling out. This still could potentially be bullish if we sort of see this little curvature continue to the upside and we start to see a crossover soon. And we start printing a red dot on this momentum wave, start bringing it higher. Then I could see that 12-hour turning around. And right now, the 4-hour, I have to say, is looking very nice. The money flow is still pretty much up where it was back here. It's still very thick. It hasn't come down very much. It's still looking pretty strong, even though we, have been seeing divergences with momentum as we've been putting in these highs. The money flow is still looking very good. 2-hour, still pretty much the same as yesterday. Money flow has started to come down a little bit along with momentum. 2-hour is definitely looking a little bit more bearish than the 4-hour. However, right now, money flow is starting to get a move to the upside. Momentum has started to get another move towards the upside. Looking to cross over the 60 threshold, which, as you know, typically when a momentum wave crosses above the 60 line, that shows that it has more strength. And a lot of times when the momentum wave does cross the 60 line, that is a sign that a stronger move is coming. I mean, if I just mark out all the times that these momentum waves crossed over the 60 line, you can see that there was still more upside to come afterwards. And I mean, this wave back here was a outlier, but it didn't really get over the 60 line. It tried to. It did print a red dot above the 60 line, but, just barely. So it is a possibility that we see this 2-hour momentum wave continue to the upside. Maybe we get, another one of these moves. But, looking at these are diminishing moves. It seems like the moves to the uptrend have been getting weaker after the 2-hour wave gets above the 60. This first move was a 26%er. This one was about a 10% move. So, if we're going by, diminishing returns here, maybe you say we only get like a 5% move to the upside, which would bring us right up to around 30K. The 1-hour money flow has been in the red for a while. Maybe you could say that the bearishness from these last highs has kind of played out a little bit. Money flow has come down, spent some time in the red. These were some pretty bearish signals on this last high, and price really hasn't come down much from it. But the money flow has, as we've been consolidating here. And right now, money flow is getting a move to the upside. We crossed into the green, and we are making a local higher high in money flow as opposed to this, little wave that we got right here. So even though we did see, a pretty bearish sign on those last highs, it is possible that, because the 4-hour is looking so bullish that, maybe this consolidation was all we needed. Maybe this money flow just had to spend a little bit of time in the red. And, maybe we start seeing momentum and money flow start turning to the upside again. And the main reason I'm thinking that is because the medium-term time frames are looking a little bullish right now. The 24-minute money flow is getting another turn to the upside. Still could potentially put in a lower high to this one, but momentum has gotten above the 60 line now. It's gotten higher than this last wave. So, like I said, with the 2-hour, same thing kind of applies to the 24-minute. Once price crosses above the 60 line, usually the move is not over yet. Usually there's still more upside to come. And, I can look for some other examples of that right there. I'll say right there and right there. Yeah, all times afterwards, there's still upside after. It's not going to be as strong as a 2 hour, obviously, but still, same principle kind of applies. So if that 24-minute wave, continues moving upwards above the 60 line, it could be a sign of strength. And I mean, considering we have held higher lows here, even though we saw a pretty bearish top up here, we still have not come down to take out the last higher low, potentially showing strength. And the 12-minute is looking pretty bullish as well. Money flow is increasing here. Still have not made a higher high to this wave, but momentum has, and we just printed a green dot above the 60 line, which is also a pretty good sign of strength when you're printing green dots above the 60 line like we saw back here. Along with the money flow increasing, I think the 12-minute is looking pretty good. And those are pretty much the reasons why I am thinking the 1 hour has potential to turn around along with a 2 hour, because these medium-term time frames are looking slightly bullish here. So things are definitely still conflicting, but if I had to choose a bias right now, at least, in the short term, based off of the medium to, kind of larger term time frames, I'd say I'm probably leaning a little bit more bullish. However, if we start to see a large move to the upside, we could definitely continue printing those bearish divergences, those top signals on these higher time frames. Like if we get another move up towards like 30K, we can definitely start forming some more top signals up there, and then maybe, that is when things start to kind of slow down. But for right now, I have a few trade ideas inside this local range. I also marked out some levels in this range above us for if we do get a move up towards that 30K level. I marked out some key levels up here. And of course, if we start getting a move back to the downside, there is plenty of levels we can look for down there. So right now, the local trades I'm looking for 3 potential longs, one from this untapped daily, this golden pocket, and value area low of this range. That's some nice confluence there. There are probably some stop losses down below these lows right here that we could take out, get a move off that level. This is more of a scalp idea, and I am still watching this low right here, this last higher low in the uptrend, potentially for an SFP, because if we SFP that low, then technically we would be targeting the high that created that move. So this could give us a nice risk reward if we see confirmations. But I would say I'm probably less confident in this one, just because there is such a significant level right below it. We have another untapped daily inside of a golden pocket, and this is also the CME gap. So if you turn on the CME indicator, this is where price closed on Friday before the weekend, and since the market's opened back up, price has not come back down to fill this CME gap. Yeah, for that reason, I'd be definitely a bit more careful about this low, but there is still a chance that this could be respected, especially if we see a lot of trades get stopped out there. It is a significant higher low in terms of market structure, so there probably is a lot of stop losses below it. Right now, I only have one short marked out, a potential SFP of the higher high. I was looking for other short ideas, but those didn't really play out. And, as you can tell, I did get stopped out of that short I was in. And right now, honestly, I'm not super interested in getting shorts unless I see a really clear setup. So, right now, the only, trade idea that I would be confident in at the moment is an SFP these highs. Or if we, start maybe forming some local bearish market structure, and then we see some absorption, something that gives me confidence that we're going lower. Maybe then I'll take a short. But yeah, for right now, this is really the only trade idea that I would be confident in. And if I turn on these 30K levels, the first things I marked out was the volume levels of this range, the value area high, point of control, value area low. And the value area low is, pretty close to us. We honestly could SFP this high, tap off that value area low, reject off of it, fail to get acceptance back inside this range. And yeah, that could give some confluence to the short. We honestly may approach that soon if we keep putting in higher highs here. But yeah, I think all of those volume levels of that previous range are going to be significant. I also marked out an untapped weekly and 2 untapped dailies. And the untapped dailies are coming in around the highs. It looks like these have been tapped, but if you zoom in, you can see that they haven't. It is close, especially with this wick right here. You really have to zoom in to see that, yeah, we actually didn't tap off that daily yet. So we do have some, interesting levels to look at there. And yeah, okay, we're approaching the highs now. Let's see, do we have potential for divergences on these medium-term time frames? We do with momentum. Money flow seems to be getting higher than it was back here, though. So we could still definitely form divs with this 24-minute money flow and momentum if we see like a sharp rejection from here. The money flow has not come up above this wave. The momentum still has a way to go to get above here. We could potentially see divergences there. Let's check the 6-minute. And the 6 minutes looking a little bit more bullish than it just was. 3-minute money flow is not looking too bad. 1-minute money flow is kind of looking a little weak, I would say. It's in the green. It's hanging on in the green, but it's not looking super strong. All right, well, I want to try and get this video up as soon as possible, so I'm going to call it here. But yeah, if we get a move up towards that 30K area, these are pretty much levels I'm going to be interested in. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.